Let's continue the first DLC with this next case, where someone is trying to catch a fish with some weird submarine. It's not how you catch fish. The Raid. A story in 4 parts. 4 parts inside one case? Oh, lots of things. So we have this first room. It looks like some sort of... I actually don't know. Like, they are watching some sort of stuff, listening to some sort of stuff. Then there's the outside of this room. Okay, and actually 0 out of 0 wards. The wards are already collected for us, so we only have spots. There's outside and there's some inside of this warehouse with people guarding it with weapons, or like entering it with weapons. It could be the police. And there is some sort of plan of the area. And this goes to the car park, which is also accessible here. Someone broke the barrier, so I assume it may have been this car making an escape. I mean, that's just a guess, but suspicious red car just after the barrier's been broken. And this is a police car, yeah, so they may be raiding a place. And there's like a helicopter, though they have weird helicopters that flap their wings instead of having rotors. Okay, so I guess this room is the center of the things. We have the detectives. Let's take stock. What do we know? It's a strange one, Roy. We've had eyes on this place all morning. Our guys confirmed the boss lady and her gangster were still on the top floor as we pulled up. We secured the front door and all the stairs, so they must be still in here somewhere. Or they're using more Lemurian technology to hide themselves. Moira will spill. As rumors fly, Mayor Meredith announces press conference. More to do with the mayor. Yes, the mic's been again melted in this weird way. This could explain more about why in the previous case they were talking about the new asset and they were sending them like microphones, film reels, things like that. That it didn't really make sense with just their general things with like gangs and drugs, right? This is something more is happening here. So we have, okay, function checking. So they are also doing idle experiments, but of course we can't have idle game, idle DLC without the idle being involved somehow. No give or take. Now I call it disarranger for translation and thing. Yes, so they're no give and take because they're using it to like destroy matter. Small effect, heat change evens out. Known effect, matter warps, pulls, extrudes. And yet the memories, right? Because that's what we learned from the base game. See phase 2 test outcomes. Little woman says test faster. Vibration of crystal cannot extend, destroys amplifying device. That's the matter symbol. Vibration can be sent. Pump effect straight to ears. Good report for the little woman. Okay, this English is a bit broken, so this might be Echo Secunda's doing here, since obviously he speaks ancient Lemurian. And we know that the memories, they can be broadcast as well. Phase 2 test outcome. So this was using the memory symbol. Low, little scramble, mind mostly same, mix up of events, same way every time, pattern A. Medium, more scramble, things change, things look different, pictures wrong, like mind force normal story, even if it means pictures no much good. Events mixed same way each time, pattern B. High, big scramble, strange pictures, even actions abstract. Mind no care for real story now, just follow pictures and see. Pictures much good, but very strange. Events mix same way every time, pattern C. This one stays forever. Okay, so they're doing several things of like overriding people using the idle power, but when they're saying picture and things, are they actually figure out how to use it to inject anything they want into people? They don't need someone else's memory. Because obviously Echo Secunda knows that he's been transported into someone else's body, so even if he doesn't quite know the technology, he at least suspects something, because the idol is from a different era that he was from. I can't talk to the cops, man. They'll kill me. Just give me something. Anything. Okay, at some point that guy went berserk and ripped off his shirt, and it seemed like the boss saw something that panicked her. Okay, so we discovered accounts. So we're gonna have to like put people's events or their version of events together in the right order. We have subject A testing form. And there's some cartoon we need to put together. So his form says, what did you think of the cartoon? Hilarious. Describes the cartoon in 4 stages. A jellyfish saw a dolphin and got scared. It turned out the wall was a giant whale. The dolphin escaped and a submarine hit the wall. A vampire and his minion chased the dolphin in the submarine. Cool. Then we have the TV. Okay, so this is where he's watching the actual cartoon. Vlad and Finn something. Okay. This guy, what happened here? It all started when the ringmaster ordered the lions out of the tent and they jumped through the hoop. Okay, what next? That's all you're getting from me. I've already said too much. Subject B testing form. Okay, so he also gets the cartoon, but his cartoon version might be different. What did you think of the cartoon? Tragic and profound. Describe the cartoon's 4 stages. A man and his wife follow an ambulance in their car. A girder was shown to be attached to a bridge. The ambulance sped away and the car crashed into the girder. A cat ran from the ambulance. Okay, but he's watching the same cartoon, so they're all looking at the same things but interpreting it differently. And then we have this guy. What happened here, Officer Martins? Where did they go? Okay, one of the police officers tried the mind control device and now he's crazy. First, the angels danced on the robot's finger and the second twin swallowed them whole. Then I liberated myself and Triptop admired the silver string of my bow. Next, the angels were destined to pass into the second twin's bowels and to be rescued from them by an armored horse. Finally, Triptop granted the angels their freedom and the angels melted into the pages of an open book. Yeah, totally makes sense. Subject C testing form. What did you think of the cartoon? A divine revelation. Describe the cartoon's 4 stages. A teardrop evaporated, so the 2-headed fig found the world's edge. An orchid with tender stalks sailed over the teardrop as it drifted by. Beyond the world's edge lay a vast snowy mountain. The fig applauded as it searched for the teardrop. Okay, yes. He's also got a recording device, so yeah, he might be like an informant or he is an undercover police officer, but his mind's been taken. But yes, it's the same cartoon, but it's all different every time. And that's all the spots and all the words, which are 0 because we don't have any words. A jellyfish saw a dolphin and got scared. Sure, that's the first thing, right? They get scared here. It turned out the wall was a giant whale. I think that goes last because that's where we see the whale. The dolphin escaped and the submarine hit the wall. Here, and the vampire and his minion chase the dolphin in the submarine. Okay, yes, so that's how he sees this cartoon. Then this guy, a man and his wife followed ambulance in the car. A girder was shown to be attached to the bridge. The ambulance sped away and the car crashed into the girder. A cat ran from the ambulance. So a man and his wife followed ambulance in the car. That's them chasing the dolphin. And the ambulance sped away and the car crashed into the girder. And then it reversed the girder to be attached to a bridge, so like the piece of a whale and then the whole whale. And here a cat ran from the ambulance. Yes. Okay, so he's seeing it as that kind of story. Yes, a teardrop evaporated, so the 2-headed fig found the world's edge, which is them hitting the wall, right? An orchid with tender stalks sailed over the teardrop as it passed, so that would be this. Beyond the world's edge lay a vast mountain, so that's the last thing. The thing that applauded as it's searched for the teardrop. Yeah, that I'm trying to catch it is the fictic applauding. We've put all of it together. Now we have the accounts, but then it's like no comment. So I mean, we have all of his things. Right? That's just the order he's telling them in. Because yes, first, the angels danced on the robot's finger and the second twin swallowed them whole. Then I liberated myself and Triptop admired the silver string of my bow. Next, the angels were destined to pass into the second twin bowels and to be rescued from them by a armored horse. Finally, Triptop granted the angels their freedom and the angels melted into pages of an open book. So at some point the guy went berserk and ripped off his shirt, and the boss saw something that seemed to panic her. Oh, so this is matched with this, right? Then I liberated myself is the same as he ripped off his shirt, and tripped up admired the silver string of my bow is she saw that he was wearing a wire, and then that's what panics her. It started when the ringmaster ordered the lions out of the tent and they jumped through the hoop. I assume that's to do with like the gang, because obviously their sign was like a tiger with a lion's mane or something like that. But yes, the pink guy is just no comment, no comment, no comment. He just says this. So it's like, yes, this, which of the story parts does it mean? I assume they give us those no comment boxes so that if we put things in the wrong place, obviously it will have multiple things in the wrong place because both the text and the no comment will be wrong. So it's very easy to have this board incorrect if you don't know exactly what this matches. First, the angels dance on the robot's finger, and the second twins swallow them whole. That sounds like they were somewhere and then they had to like leave. Like they went into a vehicle of some sort, you know, the second twin swallowed them whole. So saying the ringmaster and ordering the lions out of the tent, like tell them to run and they all jump through the hoop. That's like the first thing that happens. No, that's all incorrect. Yeah, they're speaking in riddles. Like, this seems to make sense. But I guess she would have told them to run after. Next, the angel will destined to pass into the second twin's bowels and to be rescued from them by armored horse. That sounds like they were told to go through the basement in another building and then get into, like, a car or a van or something. So that might be the match for, you know, them telling them to leave the tent. Okay, I'm gonna look at the events for now. There's no sentences here. Just, I assume this is where we have to translate from whatever weird speak they are doing in that story to actual events, which might not be possible until we work out what those accounts actually mean. Well. So the general thing seems to be the gang and Echo Secunda, I assume he's helping, right, because he has the knowledge. They are doing some experiments on how to use the idol in order to obviously advance their interests. Here they're testing it. They're testing it on people, like using the cartoon, using the other equipment they have. They are testing it on people to see the effect, see what they can do with it. And whatever effect it has on this guy, he becomes crazed, rips his shirt off, which reveals the fact that he has a recording device and is an undercover police officer, which then causes the gang members to obviously escape, right? Because they escape through the parking garage, and even further, like this building, it says 1A and then it's 1B, right? So I assume it's like they managed to cross over to the other building, and actually here there's a crane with this here, and then there's a window open in 1B. So when they say, oh, we covered all the exits and stairs and whatever, and they're still not here, I think they basically managed to escape on this steel beam into 1B and then, you know, go into the bowels, go into the basement, and the parking garage is shared between the buildings, so they're able to get out through here. I assume this plan, yes, the 1 and the 2 is the layout of the building, but I guess this 1A, but the car park might be shared, so that lets them escape using the other building. But now I have to put it in the crazy words. Yes, first the angels dance on the robot's finger and the second twin swallow them whole. That's the robot's finger is the steel beam and the angels are the gangster escaping free. So actually, when he says first, that may not be the first part of the story. That's when they're running away. So actually all the words at the start of the sentences might just be misdirection here. I like how they gave us blue no comment and red no comment as well, just to, you know, fill this even more with useless things that have to be placed correctly. Well, I mean, for them to run away, it feels very much like first he would have to reveal himself as the undercover cop, right? Like, because well, otherwise why would they be running away if they're just doing their testing? So he took off his shirt first, like at least this event, like he would have taken off his shirt revealing that he's undercover. So they danced on the robot's finger, that's them using the beam to escape. Second twin swallow them whole, they go into the building. They pass into the second one's bowels to be rescued by armored horse, right? So they go down the car park, get in the car, run away. But then Trip Top, which I assume, Trip Top is the woman in charge here, granted the angels their freedom and the angels met into the pages of the open book. Where is that in the story? I know it says finally, but as we can see, I don't think first and finally are the way we're supposed to take this. So it might be the second thing. Tripto granted the angels their freedom and the angels meddled into the pages of an open book. That might be them leaving through the window, because obviously the shape of a window, it could also be the shape of an open book. So yeah, he reveals himself as the undercover agent. They go through the window, cross on the beam onto the second building, and in the second building, they go down into the basement through the car park, their escape. So that's that, which means the guy when Berserk ripped his shirt off is matched to this sentence, and the ringmaster order lines out of the tent is this, right? Because she's like, we need to get out of here, and then we just have the no comments everything else. There we go. So yes, big misdirection by putting the first and finally next on the sentences, because I was like, well, that seems to indicate the order. It does not, because the guy is completely melt brain. Okay, then we have translation. So yeah, Trip Top is the boss. Silver string is the listening device that he's wearing. Did they call it something specific? No, there's no word for it. It's just the listening device. What is an ornithopter? Okay, so I was like, ornithopter, what's that? But apparently an ornithopter is an aircraft that, has flapping wings instead of a different kind of thing. So this here is an ornithopter. Never knew that was a thing. So I can't find the word right now for the silver string. We'll do it in a bit. But yes, the angels are the gangsters. Open book is the window. Robot's finger is the steel beam outside. Okay, apparently girder can be a word, or is a word for a big steel beam as well. Twin is the other building. Bowels is the parking garage, and armored horse is a car. So there's just the silver string left. Oh, I guess wire. Yes, commonly referred to as wearing a wire. Cool, yes, I understand those words. But what are we doing? We're now retelling those events correctly, like in English. So it starts with the undercover cop removed his shirt. That's not exactly full sentences, but okay. The boss saw wire. So then boss ordered evacuation, gangsters exited via window, gangsters traversed the girder, gangsters entered, I guess they entered building, then gangsters, they went to the parking garage. I'm just not sure if it's entered, exited, but yes, gangster, and then gangsters drove car. I mean, it might be that the boss drives the car, but we'll see. Gangsters, what? Entered the parking garage, okay. Wow, this one is just here's an events page with only full stops. Ooh. The gangsters were experimenting with a device that disarranged memories. When the most affected of the test subject revealed that he was an undercover cop, the boss realized they had to flee. With the workshop surrounded, the only way of reaching their car was via girder that could get them into the neighboring building. Yeah, but now they're off in their car. Yes, that's the ones. And yeah, here's Echo Secunda in Oriel's body as suspected. And the lady from the races. Yeah, commentary case 01667J, lead investigator Roy Samson. After completing my investigation of 1A Francis Crescent, I've come to a terrible realization. If this disarranger can do to others what it did to Officer Martins, then there's no telling how dangerous it could be. Physical distraction, mental capacitation, and an insidious method of application. In the wrong hands, it could do unspeakable things, and appears to be in the wrong hands as we speak. I have to find out what they plan to do with it next. Yes, so on top of everything happening with other people trying to use the idol, that we have criminal gangs trying to use the idol. Interesting. The last case has not opened, which means we need to solve this story first before we get access to the case, which is interesting. Also, change of order in how things go in the game. So this seems to be describing the gangs, because it was something gang, then one is one of the two, something in New Wales. We don't have gangs, but we do have like crime families, so that might be it in New Wales. So it's, well, the Andir was one of them, but this the other one was like the Tsars, so they're not mentioned here. We know that Hildegard Bauer is basically in charge there, or at least she was in charge of that operation that we were kind of looking into, but not sure how those two names come together. So one gang headed by someone was of the two crime families. Someone gains someone's something by working on the something, and gave advice that something the gang. So I assume it's gonna be something either weakened or, like, I was going like strengthened, but I'm not seeing the word for it. Because there's a whole thing going on with like corruption, right? The mayor says there is corruption, but she's working with some of the people that are involved in the gangs. So, you know, clearly there is something going on. As revenge, the something gang. This might be to do with that case in the dog races with the listening devices. So as the revenge, the Andir gang planted a tape recorder in Hildegard's Bauer's office so they could obtain evidence that the other gang was... They gave this to... Did they give this to the police? Did the other gang actually help the police? So here at the end there is called for something of something that could... Something people's using something. So that, I think that maybe something like scramble people's memories, right? Because that's kind of what we were talking about in that last case, and the idol usage using sound, right? Because unlike the idol they produced in the labs and whatever they were doing, here they all seem to be watching the same cartoon, but they were listening on the headphones to something while someone was, you know, transmitting through the microphones. So I think this one is sound based. So yeah, they could scramble them using sound. So yeah, when a surprise. What surprise? Oh yes, that might be it. Yes, as rumors fly, Mayor Mary announced his press conference, because there was just things about her, like working with the people from the, what was it called, the dog races. There was like articles about, you know, heritage building renovation plan that, you know, the mayor promises, and this woman would be involved in like building whatever they were doing, you know, but behind the mayor's back she's meeting with some other people, whoever BRW is. So here, I guess the mayor might be... So Moira Meredith is the name of the mayor. She announced a surprise press conference. Someone called for something of... we have a device or something, or weapon. Oh, because yeah, they wanted to accelerate the testing, right? That's what they were doing. Here, thing in the first one. The little woman says test faster. So she asked him to accelerate the testing in order to, well, have it done before the mayor revealed it. So when Moira made a surprise press conference, Hildegard Bauer, because that's the woman's name that's kind of running the criminal part of it, called for accelerate the testing of a weapon that could scramble people's memories using sound. I think that's the right thing, and this weapon is not the right word, but we'll leave it as that. So yeah, here we have, they planted that recorder device. That all happens in that dog racing part. Yeah, so they could gain evidence. I guess the other gang is gonna be called the Bauer gang, because Bauer is running it. Bauer gang was something. Well, they recorded her in her office. So I assume this being, the next step being that the mayor calls a press conference, I assume they gave it to the mayor. They gave this evidence to the mayor. So they recorded evidence that Bauer Gang was what? I mean, they were dealing drugs, they were doing weird things. What were the women's meeting that they recorded, right? Because they would have found out about the things they've recorded about those 2 meetings, right? Because they recorded Wednesday and Thursday. So meet with BRW about the Heritage Project, which is the building thing, but then on Thursday she meets with the staff of the restaurant, and the restaurant I assume is the chicken restaurant from the first case where they are selling drugs, right? So it might be they just use the drugs thing. So the Bauer Gang was selling drugs. I mean, isn't that one of the things that gangs tend to do? Okay, but then here we start with the Andir Gang, headed by Northsider Andir. Was one of the 2 crime families. Someone gained someone's like trust or favor, working on the something heritage project, and gave advice that it weakened the Andir Gang, right? So Hildegard Bauer gained Moira Meredith's favor. Okay, it's incorrect. Too many things incorrect. But I'm like, yes, kind of trying to see the shape of it, of like the Hildegard woman, you know, she calls it up to the mayor being like, oh, we will do things with you, and this way they can also get information to, you know, destroy their rivals. But then obviously the rival gang is like, well, if we remove them from mayor's favor, then we would be able to maybe get back at them. But I guess it could be the Bauer Gang, headed by Hildegard Bauer. Yeah, okay. Okay, but so that's solved, but the DLC is not over. Unravelling, full of sound and furious, because there's still something else. We have to resolve this situation, right? Okay, what is happening? 0 wards, 41 spots. Okay, I assume this is like someone attacked with this new idol version of the new idol power, and this is now whoever was affected by it seeing, it's basically their scrambled memory of how they now perceive the world after being hit by the idol. Okay, so we have this, no, I will not be silenced, for I am a fool, I heed no hero. That's the mayor, I think. Some snake being decapitated. Yes, go. Deflate her, ruin her, poison her, deflate her. The ends of the tubes have been cut. So this is like the speakers, but they've been cut, so they're not working. He looked at my Wonder Scroll. Why does it make him worry? He is crazed. Here I am, but there I go. The ward bell rings and the kings arrive. The good twin must be let in. His departure creates a void. A hero is here by his rebuff. The void is filled by the evil twin. He hides his nature and unpicks his brother's work. The eyes and ears gather. Oh, well, they do gather. They're right here. And this other alien is going like, no, stop. Okay, do I need to solve this to get the next sections? Because they can't go anywhere from here. A pair of robots told the snake to deflate someone, right? So to attack, yes, because it says deflate her, ruin her, poison her. So attack the balloon, yeah, the crossbow. Okay, so we're not translating anything right now. Right now we're just describing this completely wacky, surreal scene. The crossbow wielder shot the snake to protect the balloon. This is a scrambled memory. It is indeed. So we have a second timeline. Okay, so this is the scrambled version. This is the unscrambled version of the same time. And we have memory match and we have the conference. Okay, so we find out what happens at the conference if we can unscramble this. More spots. So we have the detective here. I saw you set up as I left. The microphone is hardwired to the speakers and they're facing away from the mayor. That's right, Mr. Samson. Good. I am not too worried about the speakers. They only want to hit her, not the whole crowd. They need something close to her face and they don't have that. Something wrong? Let me show you something, detective. Okay, so the gang wants to scramble the mayor. Speaker and a microphone contain the same basic internal components. Okay, it's like you could use the microphone to emit the sound, even though normally you use it to record the sound. When wired to the speaker, electrical signals are converted into sound. When wired as a microphone, sound is converted into electrical signals. Yes, so it means that the microphone could be rigged to be a speaker. If you see this note, did I leave my uniform in your locker by accident? I don't see spare and mine's been gone since it went out of the cleaners yesterday. Thanks, Paul. Okay, someone's stole the sound guy's uniform to pose as them. Someone in the car, the other detective. I'm not sure what Roy is looking for, but I suppose it's not my concern. Just go grab some backup. Danger, renovation and process, keep out, power restoration work, under construction. So that's the gang. Idiot, since this clean gets you caught. This way we go unnoticed and no one can trust her information ever again, provided this works as well as it did in Test again. So they're gonna scramble the mayor at her conference. She's gonna start talking gibberish. So everyone's gonna be like, well, I guess the mayor's crazy, so whatever she says, it's, you know, we can't trust her. I suppose I should get moving as well. Secunda should know all the necessary details, Miss Power. Okay, yes, they have the technician overalls, radio signal receiver, cables, right? So they're gonna rig things. I think we could just kill her. No one can besmirch the name of Hildegard Bauer. Yeah, they got ear protectors. Arbash, I go. Ketsmal, trust in Echo Secunda. Okay, that's him. I mean, I know he was mad about what happened to him and confused about coming here, but why is he helping this random criminal gang? Oh yes, he has some sort of idol that he's slapped together with some pieces. That's the mayor here. That's Mrs. Meredith to you, and it's not just the phone. Walkie-talkies, hardwiring the speakers. I'm not sure if I believe sound can be that dangerous. Class 3 labs, after cleaning of recent materials, see drug scheme P317, building might return to regular use. Class 4 labs, for public safety, buildings harboring Class 4 labs must be destroyed. Okay, so talking about like drug labs or something. People on new wells. By trusting the wrong people, I have failed you. Have to take responsibility here. It's my resignation. The Heritage Project was meant to keep the buildings of our community safe and build them back up to former glory. Move to after identity revealed. Now though, I have become an unwitting agent in their destruction, but I was not alone in this. Yes, because if they were converted to drug labs, then they can't be returned to use. Okay, she's got like phone, walkie-talkies, whatever, they're all put away so she can't be scrambled. I wish you hadn't turned him away, Moira. Roy is a trustworthy man. If he says the phone is a risk, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Okay, she like didn't trust the detective. And here's the press conference area. Yeah, the speakers are hardwired to the podium because they didn't want to do wireless that could be a hijack. Okay, reporters should be here in about an hour. I suppose I'll have to wait until after the conference to get a coffee. Roster for arrivals and departures, 8 a.m. Moira and security, Greg from Sonic Solutions, Greg from Sonic Solutions left, Roy Samson arrived and left. Okay, but it may have not been Greg from Sonic Solutions, could have been someone else messing with the things. Okay, that might be all the spots for now. Okay, so we have to label the things in this scramble with what those things actually are. So this is Moira, the mayor. That thing that's telling the snake to kill Moira, that's Hildegard. Those are the speakers, right? Speaker, not sure about the scroll. The receiver, like this is the thing receiving the stuff from Hildegard. And the snake is the microphone, because the things will be coming from the microphone. The eyes and the ears. Or actually, no, it may not be Hildegard here. It might be Secunda here, because obviously he knows how to use the device, right? He was probably the one that was telling, like he was doing the testing and he knows like what to say. Or maybe not. Let me just... look at the melted timeline, because actually he's like, he looked at my Wonder Scroll. Why does it make him worry he is crazed? Okay. Because yeah, to me this is the representation of the speakers have been hardwired, but then someone went in, messed with them, and instead connected it so that it would receive signals into the microphone from whoever's speaking here, and that would be directed at her, right? If something is being used by someone. You have the partner, translator, secunda. I mean, we could have the emitter and receiver. They don't have to be people, those things. Yeah, I think the eyes or ears are the reporters, right? Because they're the one coming here to obviously be at the press conference. There's something. It's like a crossbow. So someone basically destroys the microphone, right? Because the snake is the microphone that would have scrambled her. There's something. Is it a gun? Like someone, shoots the microphone? It's being used by... It seems Roy is the one that's suspicious, right? Of everything that's going on. He's here like, oh, something's wrong. Like he seems to know what the plan already is. He seems to trying to know what they're doing, and he wants to prevent it from happening. And yet this is like the setup as with the melted version, right? So does he shoot the microphone once he finds out that they rewired it? Because like obviously crossbow linking to a gun, that makes sense. Who are the aliens? Is it like the partner here trying to stop things, but he can't? And then someone like says, he looked up on my scroll. He looked at my Wonder Scroll. Why does it make him worry? He is crazed. I'm thinking like, is it like the plan, like the whatever he's been shown to say, that's how they could hack the situation still, but we don't have anything like here. If you looked at the roster maybe of who arrived and whatever, like here when we're saying it's not Greg because whatever because they know someone's posing as the Sonic Solution, so then he comes and leaves. So is this the roster of people coming and leaving? Okay, almost. Because we also have the sentences. But usually it's easier to do the sentences once you've done all the things in bits. Things I'm not sure about here is the partner. Obviously I marked him as being this other alien on the ground, but it could be like the security person. Oh yeah, there we go. Yes, that makes more sense that the security person is down there unable to stop it. Cool. So now we're doing sentences. Okay, so someone planned to something here. So Moira Meredith planned to announce her resignation, right? And that Hildegard Bauer has been using the Heritage Project as a cover to manufacture drugs. Hildegard Bauer planned to stop Moira Meredith by scrambling her memory. That makes sense to me. So then we have Roy, right? Roy Samson warned Moira Meredith and her security that something could be dangerous. After talking to... This will be one of the guys from the sound, right? Something's wrong. So Paul is saying, oh, I can't find my uniform. But this is a guy wearing his uniform, which means this is Greg. Greg from Sonic Solutions. Roy Samson was worried the microphone could become a speaker. After returning to the conference and something. Like he looked at the list of people that visited, like he looked at the roster, we identified that. Roy Samson realized, yes, that someone basically snuck on pretending to be Greg and rewired the thing, right? Yeah, someone had disguised himself as a sound technician and did something to the microphone. So then Roy Samson shot the microphone. Okay, we have some gaps to fill in. So he warned Moira and her security that like sound speaker could be dangerous. Like sound could be dangerous. Because there's no speakers, right? So sound makes more sense in the sentence. Roy Samson realized, like what fits here as a name? A Bauer gangster had disguised him as a sound technician and like, you know, whatever they did to turn the microphone into a speaker. And attached a receiver to the microphone. There we go. So that's what happens at the conference. Like Roy's like, oh no, they did that. I must break the microphone to stop them. And then we have a third timeline. Okay, so they come in here, deal with the guys. Where did Roy end up? He was guarding this side street, okay. They all got ear protection. Unhand me. I don't know what the woman told you, but I run a legitimate business and you have brutalized my employees. Yeah, so she's pretending like she's innocent, even though she's also wearing ear protectors because she knows what she's doing. And we've got holes because obviously they also are able to, you know, use the idol to make holes. Oh no, what's Echo Secunda doing to poor Roy? Okay, the idol's been shattered. I'm a historian of history, our escape, his weapon, our hunger, my service. Oh, is he remembering? His scrambled memories maybe are returning. Oh yes, he's seeing what happened, but through scrambled memory, right? Because that's like the other version of the idol. So he might yet be healed from Secunda taking over. Against all odds, we rise, not as conquerors, but as protectors of galaxy that will remember this day forever. Oh no! Oh no! Has Roy been turned into Secunda now? He tried so hard to save people, right? Because first he was involved in the case of the curse and he was trying to solve it and he was trying to actually figure out what's going on, but because the guy in charge was corrupt, he got reassigned to a different district and he gets here, realizes that someone else is using idol powers to do crimes, so he pursues that case and then, even then, he just gets, ends up overridden by someone else. He's like the one good cop in this town. Okay, so we have the scrambled memories of Oriel or, you know, Echo, whoever's still in that head, who knows. So this, I think that's him seeing what happened with the idol from Opig, right? So I think, yeah, after like the situation happens with the idol, right? Because he sees that he's on that motorbike outside of the TV studio. After that, it's the food situation, right? He only steals it because he's actually hungry. And then that's how the gangs ends up involved. Maybe they actually did capture him. I thought he made it away from them. So yeah, he stole the food. And then the gang shot his horse, which was shot his scooter. Okay, actually, so he grabs the food from the waitress while the gang's there. The gang shoot his horse. And there's that whole situation where he like tries to run from them, right? So like he cuts down the water tower, kills one of them. But they, in the end, they capture him. Like one of them loses their hand. But they capture him, bring him to that woman, right? And she's like, oh, you know, I will let you live if you work for me. So that's pre-idol. Oh, is that how he recreates the idol for the gang, right? After the idol gets thrown out of the TV station, he's able to grab things from it. So it must be that he steals the horse, right? Somehow, the scooter. Because then after that, he's always on a scooter, almost always, because he kills a guy first and then he's able to get the scooter. Then he sees the idol being transported because he's looking for it. They take the idol out of the Opig lab and then... No, actually, yes, he sees them take the idol out of the Opig lab, then follows it. Then he sees them take it to the TV station. then he sees like the Tessa and whoever run in to try to stop it, but like there's, you know, multiple things happening in there. And then the idol comes out the window and yes, okay, so it was accidental that, yes, he stole the food from the wrong people. It was more than food. Then they capture him and basically force him to work for the gang or he will die. So then we get memories too. So after escaping the asylum, because that's what this scene is. I've almost forgotten. That's the very first scene from the base game where he attacks the whoever it was, the person in the asylum. He escapes, right? So he steals that guy's scooter. So after escaping the asylum, Secunda followed the idol to the first he went to the foundation, but I guess TV station, like if we're just gonna shortcut that whole situation, he follows into the TV station. He salvaged last working parts to create this arranger when he was because he already had it, right? Like he was already fighting with them by like disarranging things. When he was captured by the Tsars, Hildegard offered to, or was it Secunda offered to help Hildegard by turning the disarranger into a more powerful weapon? Yep, okay. So first we do the picture bit, then we do the word bit. And this is, I guess, Secunda's actual memories. Maybe. I'm like trying. Are they any bigger here? I guess they are. I'm trying to think what this is because I'm seeing this alien that was from like the movie theater where they, you know, were trying to steal the crystal. But he wasn't there, right? He wasn't there at all, and none of the people later on were there. Oh no, actually what was his Arthur something? Life was there to try and steal the crystal, but he was like working with Tessa and then she killed him, so I don't see how his memories come into that. Unless they just reused the alien design for some other thought. This is like two people fighting, right? One guy is like sitting on another guy, they're fighting, and then something happens and he's able to like defeat that guy. I'm actually not sure what's happening here. It's like he's seeing the alien. Like here there is like a picture of like something that looked like the later version of the idol, but instead of being happy, it's like crying. So I think the gun changing hands is like important, or does it even change hands? Because yeah, this guy has it, but then the guy whose perspective this is has it later or earlier, who knows? Because like this picture, right, he like blasts that guy that's hitting him. So here the guy grabs the gun from him. Oh, is that like the idol he's able to see and grab the power from it? So it's like, so at some point that guy is beating on him, takes the gun. So I guess this is like earlier because this guy is still holding the gun. Okay, this must be earlier because the hat gets knocked off. So it's like the guy with the hat attacks him, grabs him. That guy punches back, knocks over the hat. He's then attacking, grabs him, the gun from him, points the gun at him. But then this guy is able to like, okay, I guess this picture first because that's before he starts using the power. And then he just manages to like blast this guy. So he's like chasing this guy. So he like is somewhere, takes the green tunnel, right? Because then he sees that guy running off to the green. Then closer he sees the alien. Come closer, yeah, then that guy jumps him. I have no idea what this means right now. Who are those people? And these are Roy's memories of him chasing Secunda, but he gets hit by the disarranger, so that memory gets all scrambled. Because that would make sense that he sees him like a guy in a red thing. So that would then mean that this is Roy, he sees the two holes in the building, starts running into the building after Secunda. Not sure what the alien is, but he's also got the idol bit. But then Secunda jumps him, they fight. But then Roy manages to use the idol disarranger to like knock Secunda out and kind of maybe put him back more towards Oriard. So after the arrest of Hildegard Bauer, Roy Samson saw that Echo Secunda had escaped into the abandoned, whatever this is, store? Because I assume not a ship. Like if we go outside, yeah, I guess it might be some sort of store. Roy Samson followed Echo Secunda, but was ambushed. During the fight, Roy Samson and Echo Secunda, they both lost their ear protection, earmuffs. Echo Secunda then took Roy Samson's gun and prepared to shoot. Suddenly, Roy Samson activated the disarranger, which scrambled both their memories. As his final act, Roy Samson took back his gun and shot the disarranger. Okay, almost. I guess the here, unprepared to shoot, is spelled with 2 O's, no 1. Okay. So I guess Roy didn't get overridden. This idol doesn't have that power. He just got scrambled. Maybe he'll be fine after a little bit. After saving Mayor Meredith from having her memories disarranged by the Bowers, Roy chased down Secunda and Disarranger in order to take out both threats. Roy chose to sacrifice his own memories so that he could disarrange Secunda's. Then he took back his gun to destroy the Disarranger. Okay, yes. Now she's in prison. Oh no, she's in prison with Tessa. So what are you in for? I solved it. The Raktam made a sauce out of this gum shower. I can't believe we have to work with this guy. Okay, so Roy is still out there. He can still solve cases. He just sees them through his new worldview, where basically he understands what happens, but the words make no sense. But he's still good at his detective job. They just have to translate what he's saying. Yeah. So yes, he sacrificed himself to save people, to save the town, save everyone, even though now he's a bit disarranged. But yeah, this picture. Tessa, idol knowledge. Hildegard, disarranger knowledge. Both of them, bad news. Hey, Roy Samson is still the finest detective we have. If he says he'll solve it, then he'll solve it. Here it is. Raktam. So the landlord did it. Yes, exactly. At least the scrambling is consistent, right? So they can translate from the scrambled words into English and they know what he's saying. So he still has all of his ability to solve cases. Just his words are not what they used to be. So I'm glad that's at least fine. But that means Oriel did not come back to his own mind. To sound Oriel, assigned psychiatrist Dr. Adam Fisher. I've been seeing the patient for a few months now, and his progress has been interesting. On certain days, he retains his defiant attitude, while on the others, he's far more amiable. Regardless, he persists in this strange perception of the world. The defiant Oriel speaks a form of Lemurian, although when I send transcripts to translators, they tell me it makes no sense. This seems to match my experience with amiable Oriel. He speaks Albanian, at least to some degree. When asked to recount our sessions, he understands the question, but relays events consistently out of order and uses strange terms. He refers to me as Snowman, perhaps due to my white coat. I have found recent success with Oriel by giving him access to a typewriter. He types of large passages in Albanian and Lemurian and is compiling them into a larger work. The amiable Oriel seems excited about what he is writing, describing it as wondrous crumbs from a devil. If I can help him find happiness moving forward, then I suppose I too will call it wondrous. Okay, so actually, I guess they've scrambled someone who had their brain overridden by another person, so now it's basically both Oriel and Echo Secunda with the layer of the scrambling where they see a world through like a weird lens and their words make no sense. So yes, who knows? And yes, thank you for playing Simple Duels, because that's the entirety of the first DLC. So that was an interesting follow-up, because we get to see what happened with Secunda and Oriel, because it's like the first thing in the main game is Oriel escapes, but at the time we don't know that it's Secunda in Oriole's body, right? Because no one knows that really. And then much later we find out that yes, Oriole's been replaced with Secunda, and then it's not mentioned really anymore, like at all. And this is where we finally get to find out more about it. So that's cool and good. I think yes, I struggle a little bit in this dog section, like things weren't quite getting together, but after that, yes, it came together quite nicely. So that was pretty satisfying to figure out. And that's it for the first DLC. So I will see you next time for the Lemurian Phoenix. So let me know in the comments what you thought about this one. If you enjoy my content, consider liking or subscribing. Thank you to channel members for supporting the channel, and I will see you soon on another adventure.